Hi folks, and welcome back to our channel, The Second Look. As you can see, I'm alone, so only one of us again, me, Martin. It's not that Norbert is not available, but we are working on several new things, and so this could be the start of a new series on our videos to bring you a little bit closer to our photography and also to the way we work with Luminar Neo. And so let's try out how this works. What have I brought you along? I'm going to share my screen and move myself over here in the corner. So what I found some old images of mine. They are from 2014. So it seems that I acquired my Pentax K-50 around 2013, 2014. And I found some quite old images. This was also the start, and I started to do a little bit of bracketing and wanted to get my first I wanted to get my feet a little bit wet on HDR images. So this was must have been really one of my very early shots. You can also see the limitations already of the K50 from the size of the images. And so they are also not quite sharp. But what I brought here is a bracket of three. This is those pebble stones with a leaf on top. And so I'm gonna show you, let's try out what we can make out of this, or in this case, these three images. If we click here, we see this is the center image with a EV of 0. We have the negative EV and the positive. So we take those three images and we put them here on the HDR merge. Let's see, I'm always click this one. Of course, this has been done. It was quite quick, 1/100th of a second, but nevertheless, it without tripod. I want to have the distortion corrected, also chromatic aberration, and maybe there is some fancy stuff in there, and it recognizes my first image, the 00, as the correct one that I want to have as reference. So then let's merge this together. Since the image is not that big and it's absolutely okay. So we got this here. I tried this to do yesterday also, but to show you the effect. So that's what we ended up with. And then we're gonna use this one and we're gonna try to improve that. Uh, at that time, 2014, this might have been quite a sharp image. Of course, sharper, but actually, and I can't remember where the focus, obviously the focus should have been on the leaf, but what happened on the camera, I don't have this camera anymore. You also may know that the K50 had problems. Uh, several years later, I tried to sell it, and I thought everything is fine. So I sold it on our Austrian version of Craigslist, and the camera got back to me because of the future owner said no, it's not working. So the CMOS on these cameras gets corrupted over time. Uh, Sometimes I don't know if it's all of them, if it's some a manufacturing error from the start. Anyway, I couldn't sell it. I had to give the money back, but luckily I had my photos still. So carry on. So as you can see, we are here now almost 100% zoom in, which is always a reference for me. That's what I'm looking into. How much is it really on the monitor? Also, how good does it look on the monitor? Of course, this does not say anything if you would print it out on a huge canvas or whatever, it might still look fine. But on a computer, especially for nowadays, this is quite blurry. So what I to do with this image, what I immediately do is the first thing I try to remove the noise and see what it brings there. Maybe, okay, we're already late for that. Nevertheless, let's take a look. So we had a shot of ISO 100 with 55 millimeters of focal length. So it's also with a very low aperture number, so hugely open. And okay, this now gives 160th of a second, but of course this is now a combined image. Well, nevertheless, on the camera, that's 100th actually from before, should I say? But okay, you get a feeling or an idea how the image was taken. It was taken with my Pentax standard with the kit lens, so also nothing special here. And we open this up again. We go to our edit stuff and we want to see how we have done on the noise. So this has to calculate now again. So we don't see it. Already we see something. Actually, you can see it here on this stone quite well. If I press here, it's much more mushy than I now un old new old new. It's quite subtle, but it's okay. So what I also use or want to use or take a look is, of course, since it's not the raw anymore, let's see what enhance does. But no, not enhance, the develop and auto adjust. So this does not do much. This is before, this is now. Actually, it makes it a little bit more aligned. It's not so much different to me. Increase the shadows a little bit. This is quite minute. What would it do? Oh, the cursor also quite centered, of course, with this color range. So I won't do anything much here. Then I'm gonna use my magic tool. So enhance and crank it up. Okay, let's have a closer look. That's before. It gives a little bit more structure and to the image. But I think we can't get any further without actually increasing the sharpness. So this will take a while on my computer since it's not the fastest one. Let's see how long this takes. If it takes too long, I cut it out in the video or speed it up. A whole eternity later. This took quite some time, 3 minutes, and I'm also start immediately sharpness for the middle one, and then we see with which one we're gonna stick. Another whole eternity later. Uh, well, it looks like this took also 3 to 4 minutes. And let me know in the comments. I think Luminar Neo heavily uses graphics card for calculating stuff. So, and this is a laptop, does not have the most powerful graphics device. Let me know in the comments how fast your Super Sharp works. So let's see how it did. Often the middle one is gets oh, and we see it here. See it's not working here. Also maybe because it's double exposure and it can't make quite clear scenes. So this is the low one is much better than the middle one. Middle one does not work at all. Often you also get a lot of artifacts on maybe spots like this. They then look quite over exaggerated sharp, but this one actually does not work at all. Funny thing for this stone. Luckily it works here with the low setting. And if you compare it to before, it's also much better. Has been some ghosting here that has actually been reduced. Also with this stone up there. So in general, I think we have very good improvement. What about here? Also much better. If we go back out again, this is before, and this is now. This is before, and this is now. Some stones look a little bit different, but it's also, I think this is one a tougher picture for the algorithm. And in general, I am quite happy with the improvement. So we already have some enhancement. If we enhance a little bit more, and you know that they are stacked, right? If we go in here, then we will see that all of our modifications have been stacked. If we crank this one up even more, what happens? Brings a little bit out even more, at least suggesting sharpness. Let's go in here again in this area. Yeah, I like it a little bit better. It brings out a little bit more structure. Going back, what else can we improve? Details, arrays, we don't have anything arrays. Structure, I think this makes it overly fancy. Oh, why not? A little bit, huh? More structure. If we go in here, does it look too artificial? I don't think so. So don't crank it up too much, just a little bit. I think with this image, I don't have to mask a lot of stuff. I wanted all of the image. What I find also always quite exciting or surprising is that if we go to crop and we go for some composition with the AI toggle, what it centers on. Okay, it uses this one as a center entirely. If we go up here, it's a little bit to the left in the upper left corner of this one. If we want to have it fully centered, we have to crop it. Why not? Okay, let's do that. We also have some sharpening. We have some structure. Do we need more details? I think it's also dependent what you want to do with the image. If you want to print it out on a huge canvas, then I think maybe you can do stuff like that and crank it up. This is too artificial, way too. But just a little bit. And here and here. Before, after, before, after. Makes it even a little bit more sharper, let's say. So crank it up to the golden 10. Gives the stones more depth and structure. And lets it look a little bit more sharper. And maybe some creative artistic touch in that sense that we give some vignette. Just a little bit. It's almost not recognizable. Before, after. Very, very subtle. Okay. And I think that's all that I wanted to do with this image. I just wanted to have a sharper image and a little bit more structured image. And so let's hit this eye there that gives us a full before and after. So this was the before, and this is the now. This is before, and this is now. And one could say that those stones over there are a little bit too obvious. If you don't know the scenery, well, of course, those stones still look like stones, at least in my opinion and in my reception. So I like the outcome quite a lot. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. And that concludes this video for maybe this whole new category of videos that we want to make. We're gonna title this series The Worst Image. We are gonna take one of the images that, in our opinion, have not turned out well on our sessions, and we try to get out the most of it afterwards with Luminar Neo. So this is being, as I said, quite an old image. It was quite blurry. It was 3 images overlaid with some ghosting. And then we tried to sharpen it up. And I, for myself, I'm happy with the result. So I like the structure on the stones. I like what I saw when I was there at this river beach, at this river bank. And I think I'm gonna keep it like that and maybe put it on some canvas or some poster and put it on my wall. Yeah, but let me know what you think of it. Would you have done something different? Would you have chosen other settings, other maybe some entire artistic stuff? I haven't used presets because I thought it did not for me. There was no need to use that. I wanted to have this specific touch anyway. I could go for some LUT in the mood lighting, but I don't even want to do that because I like the image like it is. So maybe that is our the start for our new series that we're gonna title The Worst Image. And I hope you got something out of it. If not, please leave a constructive feedback in the comments. Else, please leave a like. And to not miss out on one of our next videos and the oncoming videos, please hit the bell button. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out in our state, you showing us support and that we are on the right track, that you enjoy our videos as much as we do. And I hope to see you next time on our channel, The Second Look. See you then. Bye.